What a game. What a game by the Indiana Fever. That was a wild one. They beat the Dallas Wings yesterday at home 110 to 109. Wasn't even an overtime game either. Both teams just scored that much. Some of it was due to bad defense. Obviously, I'm not going to act like it was just a crazy fun shootout, but compared to the two games they had against the Aces, that was a much more fun game to watch. Again, I hate that I sound like I'm just throwing shade against the Aces, but yeah, their sign is not their style of play is just not really there. I mean, not saying that every game needs to be in the hundreds for these 40-minute WNBA games, but still, it'd be that was a lot better to watch. And I just want to give so many people on the Fever so much credit. Kelsey Mitchell, she is absolutely amazing. Whatever she wants, the Fever needs to make sure she gets that so they can keep her for quite some time. The chemistry she has with Caitlin Clark there in the backcourt, um, that's what it's all about. I mean, they're both very, very good. They both scored over 30 points, or 30 points each. Kelsey scored 30, Caitlin scored 35. Um, so that's 65 of their 110 points. They definitely need to keep those two together for quite some time. Kelsey Mitchell was amazing, shooting 50% from the 3-point line, 6 for 12, I'm not mistaken, and 57 from the field overall. That's pretty crazy, and that's amazing. Watching her is so much fun. Watching that whole team is so much fun. Obviously, everything's not perfect, but hey, I mean, from where they were at the start of the year, that's why following's been so much fun. Just watching their development, and they're still not there. I mean, we're gonna look back if they can keep that core of Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull together for some time. I mean, we're going to look back in 2026 or 2027 and say, wow, they were raw back then, but they're great. They're still great, and I hope we always remember that they are great. Um, they just are definitely going to get better. Aaliyah Boston, I have to give her a lot of credit. I know a lot of people are kind of not sold on her, but I am. Watching the game, she does a lot of things, and she's only going to get better. Remember, this is just her second year. You can't expect everybody to be like Caitlin and just walk in the league and be a top 5 player. That's not going to happen. Plus, Leah, she had her rookie season on a bad Fever team, and then she had this season where Caitlin showed up and just changed the whole game for them. And she had to adapt to that, so she basically had 2 consecutive seasons of having to adapt. And I think she's done a great job. Like I said, she does a lot of stuff that's not seen on the stat sheet. And she's already an amazing part, an amazing contributor to that team. She's made the All-Star both of her years, deservedly so. And really, really looking forward to her and Caitlin playing together for a while, and her and Kelsey playing together for a while, and hopefully Lexi too. And I gotta say, her it's kind of cheesy, but her friendship with Caitlin is something that's very, very sweet. Watching some of the videos they post, obviously Caitlin doesn't put herself out there on social media that much, which is a good thing. Very proud of her for avoiding that trap, unlike everybody else, including me. But all the other famous athletes, which I'm definitely not one. Don't know why I put myself in there, but Caitlin and Aaliyah's friendship is very sweet. It is. Some of the things they say to each other. Obviously, guys, if we say that to each other, we'd punch each other in the face. But it's very cool to see, and hope they can play together for a long, long time. And I hope those two and Kelsey Mitchell can be a big 3 for a long time, or hope her and those two, along with Kelsey and Lexi, can be a 4-headed monster for a long time to come. I really want to see how this team can, just continue to develop over the years and over the years. And as for Caitlin Clark, career high, 35 points. She has, once again, just every week goes out there and proves all these people talking and saying all the stuff that she probably doesn't even hear, and just makes them look dumb. It's just so refreshing to watch. I've not been a fan of the mainstream corporate sports media for a long, long time. The stuff they say is crazy, and it's just not even true. The whole Angel Reese is better or more deserving of Rookie of the Year for a long time until they finally just absolutely could not hold that narrative up anymore. I mean, it's like we're watching this. We see what's going on. I mean, we can watch what's going on. We can see that Angels double doubles are, I mean, I don't want to say not impressive, but I mean, they're nowhere close to having the positive impact on her team that Caitlin's play is having. But yeah, career high 35 points, another 8 assists to go into that. So for her rookie season, which was supposed to be reality, Diana, it was supposed to be her being on the wrong team, Gino, and just all you idiots out there. Looks like she's going to average 19.5 points per game and right at about 8.5 assists per game. I mean, goodness, she's in her career. There's a very good possibility, especially if they can keep players like Kelsey Mitchell on the team, that she'll average 20 points and 10 rebounds for a season. And that's to go along with I think it's 5.7 rebounds per game, which for a point guard is crazy. You don't see point guards in the NBA where they play 48 minutes and take a lot more shots have that many rebounds oftentimes. I mean, sometimes you do, but I know Jason Kidd was looked at as like the best rebounding point guard ever. I think he averaged 6.4 for his career. I might have that one wrong, but and her blocks and steals are, again, crazy for a point guard. You have to give her a lot of credit for that. Her defense has improved so much throughout the year. Still got to work a little bit on the rotations and stuff, but she'll get there. And that's the thing with Caitlin. She improves where it needs to be improved. Against the Aces, she didn't shoot well at the free throw line. She had a very bad night at the line. The second game against Las Vegas. Last night, 9 for 9. So you can tell she's worked on it, and that's the thing. You have to work on that. And again, comparing her to Angel Reese, Angel Reese has been missing layups all season, had this long Olympic break, about a month off, and comes back and even worse at the rim. I don't know what to. You have to give it up for somebody like Caitlin. Like I said, she just made everybody look foolish, and of course, a lot of the mainstream corporate media brought race into it because that's all they know how to do. We don't have really journalists anymore. We just have people that know how to make hot takes and do things to stir the emotions of people on social media. I know there's that USA Today article said, the face of the WNBA needs to be black. And my question is why? To me, the face needs to be whoever the best player is. Michael Jordan deserved to be the face of the NBA when he was there because he was the best. He's black, and it was very well deserved, but not because he's black or not because Caitlin's white. They're the best. I know Caitlin might not be the best yet, but she's getting there. I mean, if you can't see her trajectory going to number one, it's coming. It's arguably almost there already, but it's coming there. But yeah, the mainstream corporate media, they don't know what they're doing, and they brought race into it, and Caitlin never paid any attention. She's not paying any attention to stuff on social media. Rarely post. You don't really see her, putting herself out there a lot, which is really amazing nowadays. And she's just focusing on her game and her life. And while everybody else is out there talking crazy, ESPN, the worldwide leader in woke. I remember seeing I never watched them, but they kept posting this article of Stephen A. Smith talking about Caitlin. He goes off on this long rant where he winds up talking about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. I'm just sitting there like, what? It says that, and in that same thing he's talking about, Donald Trump, and when people say make America great again, they really mean make America white again. I'm like, we've already had 4 years of him as president. The unemployment rate for black people is the lowest it's been, I think, since it's been recorded, if I'm not mistaken, or last 30 years, 40, 50 years, something like that. And it's just, Caitlin's really exposed a lot of that, and I think a lot of people who are already leaning away from it have really leaned away because of her. And again, she didn't respond to any of it. Never once responded to Cheryl Swoops. And man, you talk about somebody that just killed their legacy. Remember the first 4 NBA champions, and her and Cynthia Cooper, even though, and that's the thing, she caused a lot of us to go back and say, dang, she won the first, she was, on that Comets team, Houston Comets team that won the first 4 WNBA championships. How did she win those championships? Did she take any head injuries in her career? So, we started researching Sheryl Swoopes' career, and we saw that she had a teammate named Cynthia Cooper, who was taken by Houston. That everybody, all the experts thought Cynthia Cooper was too old at the time in '97 when they picked her up, and she was actually on the USC teams with Cheryl Miller in the mid '80s that won NCAA championships. 2 of them, I think, in a row, and I think they went to a third one and lost. So, just a crazy dynasty over there, and she was the one who won all 4 of the MVPs of the WNBA Finals that Houston won. Cynthia Cooper won the first 2 MVPs in the WNBA. Sheryl Swoopes did win the MVP the year of the 4th consecutive championship for the Comets, but Cynthia Cooper won it won the Finals MVP, and retired and came back a couple years later. Wasn't the same, but after she retired, they never won it again. And so, that's just going to give us chances to diminish what Sheryl Swoopes accomplished, and she brought it on herself. So, it takes a team to win a championship. Sheryl Swoopes had an amazing career, but gosh, the stuff she's done lately just makes you think, man, if somebody like her, shows you don't have to be all that smart to do, which is something I think a lot of us are realizing through social media and podcasts, or that, a lot of these players are just not that smart, and she's sitting there just, basically she talked foolish at the start of the season, it's been talked about ad nauseum. She went on Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and she had a bunch of stupid stuff to say about Caitlin. Wasn't anywhere close to being true. She's 25. She's still 22. That was her 5th year. It was her 4th year. She beat Kelsey Plum's record in less time before the end of her 4th season. Kelsey did it in 4 seasons, so Caitlin's record is in 4 seasons. The record she broke as far as scoring points in a season. Her career high, Caitlin Clark's new career high in the WNBA, which she set at 35, is higher than Cheryl's of 34. And she also produces a lot more assists and rebounds than Cheryl ever did. And Sheryl Swoopes did have a lot of steals. You have to give her credit for that. But basically, she talked all that nonsense, and people are like, yeah, that's not true. So instead of Cheryl saying, okay, yeah, I messed up, sorry about that, I was thinking of somebody else, or, they were talking about somebody, and for some reason I was thinking that was who Caitlin was. I was wrong, I apologize. Just saying that publicly, she just doubled down on it and played the victim. And, she made an interesting comment that I have a different take on than a lot of people. When she went back on Gilbert's podcast after being called out for her glaring inaccuracies when talking about Caitlin, she's like, well, some people are saying that I said this because I'm racist. She's like, well, black people can't be racist. And I know a lot of people say, are bringing the racial element into that. To me, that shows that she is basically allergic to accountability. When you just say the words, people of my skin color can't be racist, you're just saying, you're giving yourself an excuse. You're saying, yeah, I can just say whatever I want to, but I can't be racist. Anybody can be anything, good or bad. And you have to accept the responsibility for that. That's all there is to it. And then she just kept going and finally got herself thrown off of a telecast of Caitlin's against Dallas, ironically enough, the second game they played in Dallas, that normally would have been called by Sheryl Swoopes, because there was a game where that Sheryl Swoopes was calling. They were talking about Caitlin. I think she'd won Player of the Week or something. They were, during a timeout, they were talking about the great things she'd done, and Sheryl just sat there silent for I don't know how long, but it was a noticeable silence, and she just refused to say anything good about her. And you can't let that seep over into your professional life, or there will be consequences. And she had to face the consequences. And she has nobody to blame but herself. So she's done it to herself, and quite honestly, I look at somebody like Sheryl Swoopes as somebody that I never want to be like. I think she's in her late 50s. I just turned 40. I'll never want to be like that. I never want to look down on the generation coming after me and be jealous of them. I want to be there to help them. I want to be there to welcome them and help them navigate some of the landmines in life that I've stepped on. So, and hopefully they'll take advice from the older generation better than I did. That's but I mean that's neither here nor there. I just give Caitlin Clark so much credit. She's the athlete a lot of us have been waiting for a long time in any sport. A lot of people, myself included, probably from my perspective, I think a lot of people probably like me. They never, in a million years, dreamed it would be a 22-year-old female in the WNBA. But here she is, and here we are embracing her. I don't care what color her skin is. I mean, she's fun to watch, and she is. The term role model gets thrown around a lot, but I mean, I look at her and I'm like, do I need to be spending so much time on social media? Not that I do. I mean, I have a Twitter account that I almost never used. I basically just use it to read a few people I like's tweets. I don't have an Instagram account, or I think I do. I think you get one because of Facebook, but I've never used it. Snapchat, I can't even tell you how that works. I feel like such an old person yelling at a cloud here. I do yell at clouds too. If it's a hot day and you get that cloud that comes over the sun and gives you a chance to cool off, oh, it's wonderful. Then the cloud goes away and you start getting real hot again. I'm like yelling at the clouds. So yes, I yell at clouds. And but yeah, I just got to give it up for her. Just say that I am so proud of what she's done, and looking forward to it. Who knows? She may turn around and disappoint me. It happens, but for this season and for the last few seasons, she's been amazing to watch, and looking forward to hopefully seeing many years of it, and not just from her, but from the Indiana Fever. I actually hope she stays on the Indiana Fever. They're not a huge market team. I don't really want to see her in like New York or Los Angeles or anywhere like that. I think for her, it's good being in Indianapolis, in the state of Indiana, basketball crazy, people that just truly love their team and their sport. And like I said, I hope her and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull. I know she didn't have the greatest game, but she got in foul trouble early. Her and Aaliyah Boston pick up the most ticky-tack fouls. I swear. I mean, they pick up so many fouls that could be called on every single possession, especially the way that the WNBA is played. I mean, you got to be more consistent than that if you're the officials. And for some reason, Aaliyah especially is a magnet for picking up those calls. And Lexi's starting to pick that up too. But just looking forward to again, I want to see what they do in the playoffs this year. There's a lot of inconsistencies with the team still. Coaching, I'm still not 100% sold on. They got to get that power forward spot figured out. Like I said, Alyssa Smith, she seems to be losing confidence. Free throws been bad. I don't know if they've always been bad or not. Seems like Damaris Dantes and Tammy Figbenley, seems like they need to be kind of splitting that role for the most part. One of them needs to be starting, and the other one needs to be playing significant minutes. They each have their strengths on both ends of the floor and their weaknesses, but I feel like they're a better fit than Alyssa. Again, I think Melissa's talented. I think she can be a great player. I just don't think this is the team for her. The way they play, she's played her best. I have so much respect for her, and I want to see her do well. But I think that might be on another team. But just so proud of them. So proud of the way the season's gone. There's 20th win, so they've clinched at least a 500 record. And I don't know when the last time the Fever have had a 500 record. I know this is their first time in the playoffs since 2016. I think Obama was still president, because pretty sure, because it wasn't until November that Donald Trump got elected, and then he went in office in January 2017. Not trying to make a political statement, but just to kind of put a timestamp on it. So proud of them, and looking forward to their last game against Washington. Looking forward to seeing them in the playoffs, possibly against Connecticut. Is what it's looking like, but if not, hey, whoever it is, just want to see how it happens, and looking forward to next year too. So, thank you for watching, and hey, thank you guys for watching these videos. Looking at the viewer count. I never thought I'd get more than like 4 people watching per video. So thank you, and I'll talk to you guys later.